There's the meddling and there's the interference and then there's the collusion between Russia and Trump.
And the inquiry into that is still ongoing.
It's still ongoing, so we have to wait and see what the Mueller investigation actually comes up with.
But honestly, to hear the president say, no, it's all right, I asked the guy you're accusing of doing all these things, and he told me that he didn't do it.
Right.
I mean, how weak does that make him look?
Well, incredibly. But then you obviously get the statement from the Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coates, reinforcing exactly what they have concluded. And we're talking about the CIA. So the DNI basically has 17 intelligence agencies below it. The three main ones, CIA, FBI, and then you've got the NSA. And they've come out, as well as the Senate Intelligence Committee, and they've said, look, there's been meddling going on here. But there's two important key bits that I think we need to take away from this. The first one is that what we're seeing playing out on the world stage is an erosion of trust between the most comprehensive, complex intelligence system in the world, i.e. the Americans, and the Commander-in-Chief. That's the first thing. The second thing is the Commander-in-Chief is refusing to acknowledge just how serious the meddling, i.e. cyber warfare is. Now, cyber warfare can have equal, if not greater damage than a Pearl Harbor, than a 9/11. You don't get
It's an act of war.
You don't get casualties from it. You don't get big plumes of smoke. But the damage that it will do to the institution, the damage that it will do to the values, is long term. And if we don't nip that in the bud...
Don't you think Matt's got a point that actually what's probably driving this is a terror from Trump, that somehow this all leads to a delegitimizing of his election win? That actually what's really driving this is, look, you know, if he admits to meddling, interference, blah, 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 by Russians, it somehow diminishes his victory. It's an ego thing.
It's completely an ego thing. But you know, President Trump was elected by the people to represent the country. And what we're seeing is President Trump representing himself at all levels, at all times.
But if his campaign colluded with it, then it's a criminal thing.
No, look, if Mueller comes back and has direct evidence of collusion between Russians at high level and Trump and his people, he's toast.
Why does he not say, let's allow the investigations to go on, you know, it's extremely serious allegations, rather than saying, just trying to, you know, he's constantly trying to delegitimize, it appears, the investigation.
Yeah, and in America, there are serious and legitimate questions about some individuals who've been involved in the investigation. You've had 5 or 6 senior officials who have at least demonstrated some type of bias, who've been demoted or moved off of the investigation. He's deeply frustrated by the Mueller inquiry, and I can understand that. What I don't understand is going overseas, meeting with President Putin, and not standing up for American interests and the American intelligence community that's out there in places that no one wants to be, collecting intelligence.
For the wider world, you know, is it a good thing that Trump's in a room with Putin, and they appear to be getting on quite well?
You've got to know who you're dealing with here. Putin and Lavrov, who's the foreign minister, they are grandmasters at strategic geopolitical chess. They've been doing this for a long time, and because Trump is a businessman and he's not skilled in the art of intelligence, in the art of warfare, in the art of way that Putin and Lavrov have been conducting their business.
I just want to ask a question about Trump's base, because it seems that you can tell those people who really love him, genuinely have a passion for him, you can tell them anything negative about him and they just don't believe it and dismiss it as fake news. Are they going to be angry about the fact that he stood up and seems to endorse President Putin, who's supposed to be the enemy? Or are they going to be persuaded by this sort of brushing away of the allegations, because they also don't like these allegations that Russia interfered and put their man into the White House?
Yeah, it's a great question, because I think they are torn here a little bit, right? On the one hand, his base loyally sticks with him. They stick with him because they like that the fights that he picks. They feel like he delivers on the promises he made as a candidate. They feel that he takes a lot of abuse from the media, from the left in America. On the other hand, not standing for American interests abroad in this instance against a very clear enemy in Russia is something that should give everyone pause. And that's why you saw elected officials, Republican elected officials, really all over the country today, calling on the president to fix this, to clean it up, to be more clear. And he already did that on Twitter with a message several hours ago, making clear he stands with his intelligence community. I think he'll go beyond that, as you all were saying this morning, in the next few hours, probably. He needs to clean this up.
Yeah.
He needs to get past it, because the issues are too important.